Perfect.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Learn what you have learned.
I would rather take advice from single women than married women because most of the married women
You know what? I would rather take weight loss advice from someone who's overweight than someone who's in shape. See how much sense that does not make? That's why you're single.
You stupid.
Well, in Ukraine, men buy flowers, expensive bags, cars for the woman they're just dating. They're not married. And no, I'm serious. And it's just.
I have a question. How are the women in Ukraine? Could you compare them to the women out here?
Oh, that's a different.
They're probably queens.
Well, so
they're probably queens. That's why.
Ukrainian women are probably more traditional,
Yes.
and thus they elicit traditional behavior in their men. See, men haven't changed. We haven't really changed that much. It's women who have changed. Go ahead.
Have you also heard like women in this generation going, "I'm a baddie. I'm a 10. I'm not a slave. I don't gotta cook or clean for you."
Never heard that.
There's a lot of women who do that. Like if you go on social media, even in real life, women talk like that nowadays. That makes a man not want to do a lot of things. And you know what sucks? They'll ruin it and scream so loud from the rooftops that they forget that there's women like us who want marriage, want love, want loyalty, and want all that.
Women are failing men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone. I am not worthy enough to talk to women. I just have nothing to offer them except boring, normal life. Rejection paralyzes me. Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly it's the fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow. Rejection maybe. Ending up on TikTok if you get my drift. Worried about being judged for not meeting the woman's appearance standards. So to the ladies, do better. The environment that you've created for men is only leading to the singleness that you continue to complain about. And to the men, maybe knowing that these responses were a trend amongst 5,000 of you is a bit reassuring if anything.
63% of young men in America are single, and the experts seem to think that it's all to do with corn. It's not. Let's go. If you want to know, this is the article to which I'm referring to, and the research was done by the Pew Research Center. One of the experts that they got to speak on it was this guy. You might remember this guy. He did a very viral post in Psychology Today in 2022 called The Rise of Lonely Single Men. Yeah, that got absolutely trounced, didn't it? You know, his article which said that it was dating apps, relationship standards, and skill deficits of men as to why they were actually single. Because each week he talks to women between the ages of 25 and 45, and they prefer men who are emotionally available, who are good communicators, and who share their values. In reality, there's not going to be a huge crossover between 25 and 45-year-old women dating 19 to 29-year-old men. But actually, the real issues come down to a few things. Firstly, men don't have their lives in order financially, or they're not very settled in themselves until they're around about 30. That's even worse at the moment, given the economic crisis, in terms of being able to afford to even buy a house, let alone feed yourself. On the other hand, we get women saying, oh, you know, I just want to be with someone who hears me and knows me. No, you want to be with someone that's got money. Just be honest about it. You want to be with someone who's got money. You don't want to be with a bin man. You don't want to be with someone who works at sewage work. You want to be with someone that sounds like Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Shit. And a little slap and a tickle ain't going to hurt, right? But I think what is happening is that young men are actually waking up to realising that they've been absolutely vilified in society. Let's not forget, here in Australia, an entire classroom of boys was told to stand up, turn to the girls next to them and apologise for them being boys.
What is that?
If you're a heterosexual white man at the moment, it's the worst thing in the absolute world. Let's not forget our favourite trend of 2022, which was KAM. And then we have older generations telling the younger generations of men, hey, don't get married because you're going to end up with no fucking house and you'll never see your fucking kids. Which, let's be honest, is not outside the scope of reality. Because the women love to lord that little statistic over men by saying, hey, yeah, we don't like you deadbeats and we're going to leave you. And the more educated they are, the more they leave, right? Or the more that they want to get divorced. So men inherently are feeling disempowered, emasculated, and just feel like, well, what's the fucking point then? So they turn to things that bring them joy. For example, going online, playing online games, hanging out with their friends, not really giving a shit about wanting to be in a committed relationship. They're focusing on themselves. Shock, horror, how fucking dare they? But the problem with stripping men of their humanity is that they don't even want to try anymore. They're dropping out of schools. They can't be bothered to better themselves now, and I don't fucking blame them because they're in a society at the moment which basically blames them for everything. And then obviously they're not picked to be someone's partner. What are your thoughts? You surprised or not? I'm not.
Nope. I love it that women want a guy who's like extremely rare and think they're on the same level. You're f***ing not, bro. Most y'all are very average. No offense, ladies. And you're not as special as you think. There's a better right next door that probably cooks better than you, looks better than you, does a bunch of other shit that you're not willing to do, and that girl's gonna get picked. Or there's a girl that's not as hot as you, that's a fucking 6 that will steal your man because she's willing to do things that you're not because your ego. I'm special. I'm gonna make it work. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Once a guy reaches a certain level, once a guy gets a certain level, let me tell you what happens when guys make money. When they make money, they don't tolerate your shit no more. This is how it is. You don't like that? Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get another girl. That's how it goes. You want a successful man? Deal with the territory. You are not special no more. You want to feel special? Get with an average guy who's gonna treat you like a princess, then leave his ass in 3 years.
Why can't average men get respect in relationships? Why can't average men have standards? Average women ask for a whole laundry list of shit all the time. Why does a man have to be high value for us to respect him?
We have unrealistic desires and demands on men without the proper credibility. Okay, these women want to do whatever that they want to do, and then they're going to try to tell a man that they need to do whatever that they're asking for, and it's like, well, you don't qualify for that. Just like some men don't qualify for top-notch women, so a lot of women don't qualify for top-notch men.
I want to really get honest and break this down a bit because men have been trying to tell us this and we're not really listening to them. Actually, we're not listening to them at all. So I'm going to put myself out there and say it. So here are my questions. Number 1, whatever happened to the average income man being the standard for husband material? I mean, modern women nowadays, we have these astronomical standards for men having to make this 6 figures. Do we not understand that based on blackdemographics.com, the average earnings for a black man 25 and over is about $40,000 to $50,000 a year? And that's less than 1% of black men making 6 figures. And only 3 in 10 black households are making $75,000 or more. But we don't care anything about real statistics. We just place our unrealistic fantasies on men, expecting them to pull money out their asses, ears, and toes, so that we can live these luxurious lifestyles that we see on shows like Atlanta Housewives. We're delusional.
It's some bullshit out in the street. You probably hear this at least once every 2 weeks about some of the people, that he's been on dates with. Perfect example. He said one girl, she seemed like they were vibing or whatever, and then she all of a sudden hit him up like, oh yeah, blah, 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 I need to get my nails done. He said, okay, great. Enjoy your day.
CASHAPP.
Yeah, and so when he told us this, I was like, okay, why'd she tell you she needed her nails done? He was like, then he showed us the conversation. I was like, oh, money. Right. Yeah, and mind you, my friend is very accomplished, very good job, definitely a millionaire. He's definitely still, trying to go through the motions to see if there's something out there on the app or, if he can find somebody that, is aligned with him and wants and is on his wavelength, on his page.